Don't park your spirit. Find the path beyond harmony.
We are so powerful as beings. Nothing can tell you your path except for you. Once you start on this path, you can't turn around. Don't park your spirit there. You did it. You chose it. That's what you wanted. Because every choice you make affects your life. If you believe it, things are going to work for you because they parked their spirit. Wherever you go, there you are. So the other day I was driving and in my car and pulled up next to me a car that I looked over and I could not help but feel the entire picture. It was an old, beat up, dilapidated car with different color parts on it. They had a door from one car, a hood from another car, a lot of duct tape. The window had one of those little vent windows that had duct tape all around it, and the driver had no window. She had an unlit cigarette in her hand. Her hair was just disheveled. She laid her head on the steering wheel there at the intersection while her kids were screaming in the back seats. It was just like, I felt her pain and I felt the kids' pain. I felt like I had been every single one of those people in the car. The kids that were growing up in a life that was desperate, despair, where's the next check going to come from? I've been every one of you. When I look at coming from the life I lived, a life of poverty, abuse, neglect, abandonment, all the lovely stuff that we get to go through, it was the story that I created for me to start in. It was also that place where I planned to get out of, to drop the victim story, to find the next thing, and move on with my life. But most of us can't. We are stuck in this place of despair, of you just think you have no options. But that is the thing. I have been you. I have been poor. I have been piss poor. We were so poor, we watched our cars be repossessed from in front of the house. But that was what I set myself up for in this lifetime. Because stuff happens to us, none of this has to ever be our story. We are so powerful as beings that when we just allow ourselves to fall into that trap of where that is, that becomes our bubble, that's our comfort zone, and we're like vibrating at like down here, and then our entire world, we're gonna meet people vibrating at that same level. It's the people that do each other wrong, that commit crimes, like the unhappiness planet. That's where they stem from. When you step into this path of realizing that we have power, that every step I take, every choice I make, a decision that I came up with from my own will to choose to do something different. The reason most people don't take that choice, like that woman in the car, is because for her to just say no to that life, to make a decision to make it better, we have this comfort zone around us that we stay in that comfort zone. It's our safety bubble. And we don't want to push it out a little bit, because if we push it out, that means new stuff's gonna come and we don't want it. When I was in the depths of misery with my ex-husband, that first man that I married that was my knight in shining armor, which he was, I needed him. I set him up to rescue me from my horrible downward spiral in Las Vegas. He rescued me, he got me out of there. And then I realized when I got there, wherever you go, there you are. So I lived that life of misery until I found the books. And then the books catapulted me to have the strength to leave. Each one of these things I set in motion. But so many people are in that place where I could have stayed in that life. And actually, when I left that man, until I found the wherewithal to know I could do it on my own, I wanted to go back more than anything, knowing full well how miserable life in that house was. But that's our comfort zone. If we are abused, if we're beaten and hit by somebody, we know what to expect. It's like, okay, it might hurt a little bit, he loves me. I mean, all the justifications we have of that. It might hurt a little bit, he loves me. But when we give ourselves the chance to just say, well, what if? What happens when I push it? Push it a little, take that forward step to claw your way out just a little bit, and you're gonna be thrown a rope. You're gonna get out. And I'm here to help you do it so much faster than this long life I had to take doing it all the wrong way until I found the right way. The place where I am, it's so hard to describe, but it is the place to where now I know it is the ultimate goal for every human being to feel the way I feel. However you get there is on you. Totally. I don't care how you get here. But it's when you get here, you're at peace and you're not looking for anything ever again. I came to the knowing that my job, my duty on this planet is to wake you up, to tell you you don't have to live in the misery that you're living in. None of this has to stay the way it is. Every single thing, I don't care if your car's broke down, you got bills to pay. It's like, I can't take that spiritual path because I got bills to pay. You're gonna have bills to pay whether you're taking a spiritual path or not. So you might as well take a spiritual path, take this walk, and manifest all the money to pay those bills, because that is what we are here to do. You are powerful enough to manifest a life of your dreams, a life you actually probably haven't even dreamed of yet, because you didn't know you could dream this big and you could have this much. We are so limiting ourselves on this planet. We gather with the collective that all agrees that we all need to work 8 to 5. We all need to clock in and do the job and do everything the same. Don't you get out of line. No, you get back in line, because we all have to do this together, because if you step out, you're upsetting the apple cart and then everything hits the fan. Upset that apple cart. Change your plan. Get the hell out of wherever you are. Take a step and leave. There was one point early in my transition that I knew I was supposed to be helping out people who are thinking about suicide. And it was something that I didn't pursue because it seemed like it was out of my control. It was uncomfortable. People didn't like to talk about that. But when you think about it, when somebody gets to the end of their rope, so much so that they just want to end it all, why not buy a ticket somewhere? Buy a ticket to Timbuktu, to England, somewhere, grab a few $100 and just go. Just get a whim to go somewhere and just go there, because first of all, the other option was blackness, death, grave, cremation. I mean, that doesn't sound like fun. Or go live on the edge for 1 minute. That 1 minute, that following guidance, that going somewhere just because you were going to die was the only other option, it's going to change your life. It's going to have you meet somebody. You're going to have an awakening, an opening. Something's going to be a slap across the face that is going to be like, oh my God, I almost ended my life. So just know we are powerful beings. If I got here, that's the thing. I was an abused victim. I cried myself to sleep every night. Every time I heard a man yell in a grocery store. I was in line in a grocery store, and the man ahead of me started yelling at the checker. I turned into this melty little bubble of crybaby. I just felt sick everywhere. And it was just messaging. It was just memories of my childhood. And like, I became this victim. And I mean, now I'd probably kick him in the nuts. But the me then, I was so small, and it hurt me so bad. It hurt my heart to know, first of all, any human could do this to any human, but it happens all the time. But now where I am vibrationally, I'm never around that. I can't be around it. Negative energy cannot find its way to me. This is real. You can live at this place of being peaceful and happy all the time. My emotions do not waver. If you're one of a handful of friends or my family that has seen me go through my transformation, they will all agree. It's like something happened to her and she went from volatile to where, like, talking about resentment and anger and like screams and all the human stuff that we do, to where I'm like, oh, and just peaceful and happy all the time. It's a thing. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you transition your life, to stop gripping that last cigarette because you can't afford to buy another one, to help you think, you know what? I'm tired of living this low, pathetic life, and it's time to step up. And I'm going to call that Carrie Palmer chick, because man, she's onto something. You have no idea. I'll see you next time.